Buckingham Palace, which has been the center and official headquarters of the British monarchy for a long time, became King Charles III's official home in London when Her Majesty The Queen died in 2022. On top of that, the palace is a live record of some of the most luxurious architectural styles in British history. A lot of the original rooms that were picked out in the 1830s are still around today. Some of the best preserved examples of Regency, Victorian, and Edwardian style can be found here. Inside, there are formal rooms that are overflowing with bright colors and are covered with jewels from the royal collection. The building that is now Buckingham Palace used to be a nice London townhouse called the Eagle before George IV became king in 1820. It wasn't anything very big. It was George IV, along with builders John Nash and Edward Blore, who worked hard to make Buckingham House the beautiful landmark it is today. At the moment, there are a total of 775 rooms offered at Buckingham Palace. There are 188 servant bedrooms, 92 offices, 78 baths, and 19 staterooms. There are also 52 royal and guest beds. There's also a movie theater, a swimming pool, a doctor's office, and a jewelry store. The garden of the palace is London's biggest private garden. It has a lake, a tennis court, and a place for helicopters to rest. People can see some of the most beautiful and colorful staterooms at the summer opening of the staterooms at Buckingham Palace from July 14, 2023 to September 24, 2023. Here's a sneak peek at some of these rooms. During the summer opening of the staterooms at Buckingham Palace, these rooms will be open to everyone. Let's look inside the $5 billion Buckingham Palace. The White Drawing Room. The White Drawing Room is probably best known for being the place where Queen Elizabeth gave her yearly Christmas speech. But this is also where the famous hidden door is. It goes from the ornately decorated stateroom to the royal wardrobe, which is right next door. Before going to official events, the king and other members of the royal family are allowed to hang out in the White Room. In another scenario, important guests could meet the king in this room before going to one of the bigger staterooms to mingle. It has beautiful English and French furniture with luxurious yellow brocade seating, white walls, cut glass chandeliers, and as much gold leaf as one room can hold. It may be the most luxurious of all the 19 staterooms. A yellow-themed room can be both relaxing and energizing at the same time, says one interior designer. It makes us think of long, lazy days spent in the sun in the Mediterranean, and it can make us feel better even on the cloudiest days. It works brilliantly with blues, teals, greens, and reds, says Martin Waller, founder of Andrew Martin. For real crisp freshness, use it with white. The Green Drawing Room. Queen Adelaide wanted the green and gold silk wall covers in the Green Drawing Room to be put up in 1834 after seeing how hard it was for poor silk workers in Ireland. The silk walls in the Green Drawing Room are what gave it its name. It was the first stateroom to be planned and is one of the 19 beautiful ones at Buckingham Palace. It's an amazing 16 meters long, 12 meters wide, and the ceilings are 10 meters high, just right for a theater. At first, the floors, walls, furniture, curtains, and a few accessories were all the same shade of green. Eventually, the huge area rug was switched out for a ruby red one. It's clear that the royal designers were not afraid to use different colors together. With the right use of color, you can bring to mind faraway places and old traits. Emerald green packs a full but at the same time an understated punch of color, says Martin. This makes it perfect for a cozy and welcoming space, and it's being used more and more in interiors today. It can take you to the cool tiled floors of Marrakesh or the traditional drawing room of a late 18th century Georgian house. The Music Room. It's easy to find the music room because its huge scagliola columns are painted a bright royal blue. It was finished in 1831, and the plan for it has mostly stayed the same since then. This is the room where guests are greeted before a feast or a dinner. It's also used for royal baptisms. King Charles was baptized here with water brought in from the River Jordan. The beautiful blue columns, which were made to look like the semi-precious stone lapis lazuli, are said to have cost £900 in 1828, which is about £100,000 today. Before they were painted white, the walls were covered in a silk that was also a very bright yellow. The furniture was made in France, and it's upholstered in bright red silk with a damask design. The music room's parquet floor is made of satinwood, rosewood, tulip wood, mahogany, and holly. It's another beautiful part of the room. Co-founder of the French bedroom company, Georgia Metcalf, says, "Deep and rich tones of navy and Prussian blue look truly stunning in both contemporary and traditional style rooms and can be as striking or understated as you like. The word blue is often used to make this point. If deep blue is too strong, you can incorporate it as glass, for example, as glass side lights or pendant lights, adding color to a neutral room. Marble, brass, and walnut are three materials that truly bring out the beauty in dark blues, greens, and grays. The rich background of royal blues, elegant greens, and dusky pinks makes a room feel really luxurious, while the natural elements look great against them," says Martin. The throne room. The two chairs called chairs of estate are the most important thing in the luxurious throne room, which is all red. It's said that Her Majesty the Queen sat in one of these seats during her coronation in 1953. The other chair was made just for the Duke of Edinburgh. The ciphers EIIR for Queen Elizabeth II and P for Prince Philip are stitched on their backs. They're made of carved and gilt beechwood and are covered in red silk damask. In the throne room, there's also a full-length picture of the Queen with her dogs Willow, Vulcan, Candy, and Holly gathered at her feet. Center room. Let's talk about the center room, which is also called the Chinese lunchroom because it's furnished with Chinese Regency furniture. Will be ready for you. An important number of the items came from Brighton's Royal Pavilion. 50 of the items will be sent back to Brighton while this room and the room next to it, the Yellow Drawing Room, are being renovated. The Yellow Drawing Room. In 1855, Emperor Napoleon III and his wife Eugenie came to the house for the first time. The Yellow Drawing Room was decorated with yellow silk. The room got its bright name from this. The building was made so that Queen Victoria could have people over, and it even has its own balcony. Yellow Dining Room. In this part of the Yellow Dining Room, there's wallpaper from the Royal Pavilion in Brighton, England, that's 200 years old. The Royal Pavilion is a house in Brighton by the sea. A whole month was needed to carefully take it down so that it could be kept safe until the room was redone in 2020. How the royal family hosts their parties. There are 59 feet of width, 120 feet of length, and 44 feet of height in the ballroom. The tables are set up in a horseshoe shape when the room's ready for dinner. More than 2,000 pieces of cutlery are used for a meal with only 170 guests. That means that each guest will have 6 drinking glasses at their place setting. A booklet with information about the food, the guests, where to sit, and the music that will be played during the event is placed on top of the china. A ribbon that's used to decorate the paper has the colors of the country that's present at the moment. That was all from this video. Stay tuned for more interesting information. Thanks for watching this video and give it a big thumbs up.